Today we'll discuss international issues which are quite important, and we'll focus what are the issues that happened during the last 1 year and is very important for the point of view of the UPSC examination. Well, in last topic we have covered national issues. Likewise, we'll analyze what kind of question can be asked and what kind of questions that UPSC has asked till yet. In the international sector, what is very important is international summits, international things that has happened in UPSC question in the last year. In fact, 2016, there was 3 to 4 questions that was straightforwardly asked the membership of the international organization like SAARC, ASEAN, BRICS, G7, G8, European Union, BIMSTEC. Likewise, there are a lot of more examples. So we'll focus on this membership as well as some important international events that happened during the last 1 year. So we'll start with the Nuclear Supply Group, NSG. What is all about NSG? Why India wants to become the member of NSG and why India could not become the member of NSG, and with NSG how many other things which is related like NPT, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, CTBT, CTBT, SCOC, MTCR. We'll come to know about these things stepwise. Okay, we'll start with the NSG. Okay, the first thing is NSG, Nuclear Supply Group. Why this was in news and how this is important. Nuclear Supplier Group. Well, the question arises. Nuclear Supply Group, first factual. It is a cartel or group of 48 nations. Now the second question, what nuclear supply groups control? Why India wants to become the member of this group? Actually, nuclear supply groups control nuclear commerce. So it controls nuclear commerce. So this is the important point or important function of this new NSG, right? But there has to be some principle, there has to be some guidelines on which the NSG works. So the NSG works on the guidelines of non-proliferation principle. Non-proliferation principle. And its non-proliferation principle is actually based on Treaty on Non-Proliferation. Treaty on Non-Proliferation, that is known as NPT. We'll cover this NPT. We'll have to know the NPT. But the question arises, why India could not become the member of NSG? As we all know, India was opposed by China. India was opposed by China. So China point of view is that since India is not a member of the NPT, so India cannot become the member of NSG, and China said if India will become the member of the NSG, then Pakistan has to be given membership of the NSG, since India and Pakistan are not the member of the NPT. They have not signed the NPT as well as the CTBT, right? So this was the things that was opposed by the China. That's why India could not become the member of the NSG. Now the question arises, why only on the question or what we say objection by one country can put the restriction or can put the membership qualification of this group. This only because NSG works on the principle of consensus of all the party members, all the members, nation members of the group. So consensus on every issues has to be there. So consensus means of all the parties, of all the countries. If any country disagrees with any decision or any issues, then that thing cannot be done, or that thing cannot be applied in the NSG. So for this, anything is to happen. Likewise, if a country has to be removed or some another country has to be add on, so there has to be consensus of all the countries. But why India wants to be become the member of the NSG? Why the need is arised? The India wants to become the member of the NSG. Why? Because if India becomes the member of this group, then India would get nuclear technology as well as nuclear uranium, thorium, or like any equipments or technology regarding the nuclear energy. So it will benefit to the India. That's why India is keen to become the member of the NSG, and it will improve its global power, as well as it will India's energy demand can be shortened, can be reduced through the nuclear energy. So in the context of NSG, we have come कि NSG works on the Treaty on Non-Proliferation Treaty on Non-Proliferation, that is called NPT. So we'll again come to know what is NPT. We'll summarize this, what is all about. That can be again asked in a simple manner. So NPT this is an international treaty which aims to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and weapon technology, to foster the peaceful use of nuclear energy, and to further the goal of disarmament. So NPT is a major tool for the disarmament. Disarmament. Sorry. And the NPT works under the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency. Right. So what it prevents? In fact, it prevents nuclear weapons and weapon technology. Related to the NSG, or in the context of become the NSG, we should know CTBT, Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. CTBT, Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. What is CTBT? CTBT is a multilateral treaty that bans all nuclear explosion for both civilian and military purpose in all environment. So what it bans? It bans nuclear explosion. The major objective CTBT is nuclear explosion. Actually, the CTBT monitors any explosion throughout the world through its organization CTBTO. That is CTBTO. What is all about? CTBTO system of monitoring is a system of monitoring station that detects the nuclear explosion by International Monitoring System IMS. Under the CTBTO system, there are 300 stations in 89 countries. It monitors the earth crust, atmosphere, oceans and air for the detection of traces of radioactivity. And India is not signatory to the CTBT. So India is not signatory to the NPT also and CTBT also. Likewise, recently India's signed a different you can say a treaty for become the member so that India can become the member of the NSG. The name of the treaty is the Hague Code of Conduct Against Ballistic Missile Proliferation. So in short, we can write SCOC, the Hague Code of Conduct The Hague Code of Conduct against plastic missile proliferation, against plastic missile proliferation. What is HCOC? We should know it was established in year 2002. HCOC is a voluntary, legally non-binding international confidence building and transparency measure that seeks to prevent the proliferation of ballistic missiles that are capable of delivering of weapons of mass destruction. So India has joined SCOC. So after joining the SCOC, what would happen? After joining this, by signing this agreement or becoming the member of this group, what happened is that India can now transfer the ballistic missile technology among the member countries, or India can take the ballistic missile technology from the member countries, right? So India will get an edge to become the member of the NSG. Likewise, sorry, this was a fourth point. I'm sorry. Okay, the fifth point comes again is MTCR. What is MTCR? Missile Technology Control Regime. What is it all about? Missile Technology Control Regime. What is that? What it does? The Missile Technology Control Regime is a multilateral export control regime. It is an informal and voluntary partnership among 35 countries to prevent the proliferation of missile and unmanned aerial vehicle technology capable of carrying above 500 kg payload for more than 300 km. So this is all about the objective of Missile Control Technology Regime. That means after India has signed this MTCR, and after signing this, what does benefit for the India after signing this agreement is? ITCR membership will enable India to buy high-end missile technology and also enhance its joint venture with Russia, right? So what would happen? India will give an advantage in exchanging of the missile technology among the MTCR group. There would be no restriction. Okay. Now, this was something that happened that was all related with the NSG nuclear supply group. India started signing this MTCR, SCOC just because India wanted to project itself that India is such a country which complies all the rules and regulations of the international issues regarding the nuclear technology and nuclear weapons. So India can be trusted country in the context of nuclear weapons or nuclear technology, and India wants to assert to the world that India is such a country that won't misuse or misplace the nuclear technology, or it will help in proliferation of its technology to some other countries for any other means, right? So let's move to the next topic, that's the Nuclear Security Summit. So if we say this is sixth topic is a Nuclear Security Summit. (2016). Nuclear Security Summit was started in a year 2010. It was started by Barack Obama, the US President, and actually this is a biennial issue. That means it happens once in 2 years, right? So this second conference held summit was held in 2014, third was held in 2014, and this was the fourth, which was held in Washington DC. In this nuclear security summit, the major objective of the summit was how to prevent the nuclear weapons or nuclear technology in going in the hands of the terrorists, so that terrorists cannot use or could not use this technology for the mass destruction of the world. So for this, some preventive measures has to be taken by all the countries, right? And what are the things that they have taken initiative, or what are the things that will take in near future to prevent their nuclear technology and nuclear weapons before falling in the hands of the terrorists or any unwanted group. Thus this was the major objective of this. Now we'll move to the next topic, that is international organizations. I say there's always a question regarding in the context of international organization. So what would be the first thing that we will start with this international organization is, let's start with the European Union. Why European Union? Because it was in news, it's in fact held in news, and recently Britain decided to exit from the European Union group. EU. The very factual country, after exiting of Britain from the European Union group, how many countries are left? There are 28 member countries now. Actually, European Union all started in 1951, and the history is European countries started to cooperate economically in 1951, and only Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Luxembourg and Netherlands participated. But recently, due to some economic movements, or a referendum was held in Britain, and there people voted in favor of leaving the European Union. So likewise, Britain decided to exit the European Union group. The question can be asked, what is the common currency? It's a euro. Its headquarter is at Brussels. That is in Belgium. Okay. That's it in this European Union. A topic, G7 summit. Where it was held? It was held at Shima, that's Japan, and the summit was 42nd summit. Now they can ask you the member countries of this. It consists of Canada, Japan, France, Germany, Italy, UK and USA. There are several countries in this group. Now G8. What is G8 group? It consists of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, US and Russia. But Russia is being now suspended from this group. Why? Now the question arises, they can ask you, Russia recently has been suspended from the group of the countries. Name the group of that. This is G7, G4, G8, none of the above. It's a G8. Earlier it was used to be a 8-member group. Now it has there are only 7-member group in a G8. Russia has been suspended because Russia captured some areas of Crimea that was held in 2015. Okay. Now the next topic comes is SAARC. 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 Its full form is Southeast Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. South Asian Association. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. For regional cooperation. It was established in 1985. Its headquarters is at Kathmandu. But why this SAARC was constituted? What's the major objective is this? South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation is the regional intergovernmental organization to promote regional economy. This is the major objective of the SAARC group is. What is to promote? To promote regional economy. Regional economy means among the member countries. This is all about the member countries. Now, what are the member of this group? This question can be asked, and why this SAARC was in news. First, we would see what are the countries who are the member of this group is. Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. So what we see there, how many countries and this group is? There are 8 countries. Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. What happened recently is the 19th SAARC summit was to be held in Islamabad, Pakistan, but it was cancelled, and it was cancelled because due to Pakistan terrorist attack at Uri, India, and India opposed the summit of this SAARC because India's stand was we will not have a summit or conference with those countries who is financing or helping the terrorists to attack on our country. So for the solitude or for in the support of this India's stand, the Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Maldives took a stand. Even Sri Lanka also, they all stood by the India, and ultimately this summit the SAARC was cancelled. Now we'll see the next topic. So actually, sorry, before starting the next topic, I would like to say one thing. Why this thing is important? Why this news? SAARC. How would relate the news in that was in the past, and it becomes important because as per the UPSC question, it is always asked 2 to 3 questions. It will always ask 2 to 3 regional summits or international summit and their member. So in this scenario, what we have to remember, in which group India is a member or not, this is a prime factor. So again, we'll see the next thing is ASEAN. I'm sorry. ASEAN Summit. Where it was held? It was held at Lao PDR. It was held at Lao PDR. Next, we'll see its members. Its members are Brunei, Cambodia, Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. Important part is India is not a member of ASEAN and can be asked whether India is a member of ASEAN or not. So always remember India is not a member of ASEAN. And its full form is Association of Southeast Asian Nation. Association of Southeast Asian Nation. What it does, what ASEAN does. ASEAN is a regional grouping that promotes economic, political and security cooperation among its members. So it also promotes economic, political and security. Okay. Now, ASEAN will see East Asia Summit. Actually, whenever ASEAN Summit is held, after that East Asia Summit is also held. Right? So, the place would be same, the member would be same, but in the case of East Asia Summit, this East Asia Summit, there are other members also. So East Asia Summit has total 18 members. So question arises, where East Asia Summit was held? It was again held at Laopedia, where ASEAN Summit was held. Now the question arises, what are which countries are the members of the East Asia Summit? So it comprises all the ASEAN members plus we have India, USA, Japan, China, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and Russia. Right? So question is being twisted whether India is a part of ASEAN or East Asia Summit. India is not a part of ASEAN, but India is a group or member of the East Asia Summit. So always remember, the people get confused with the ASEAN and East Asia Summit. So we have to always keep in mind India is a member of East Asia Summit, but India is not a member of ASEAN Summit. Sorry, ASEAN group. Again, the question comes, the two more grouping is there, is BIMSTEC and BRICS. So let's start with the BIMSTEC. We know the BRICS, we'll later come to know about the BRICS also. BIMSTEC. What is the full form? Its full form is the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral, Technical and Economic Cooperation. The Bay of Bengal the Bay of Bengal Initiative for multisectoral, technical and economic cooperation. Next point. It is an international organization involving countries of South Asia and Southeast Asia. Now its members are, this can be asked in the UPSC exam, Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Bhutan and Nepal. Where its headquarters? Its headquarters is at Dhaka. Now the question arises, why BIMSTEC? Why this was a news? This was a news because this is the first time while during the BRICS summit, the BIMSTEC summit was also organized in Goa. So that becomes an important issue, and during the BRICS summit or along with the BIMSTEC summit, there was one important measure, there was one important issue that India raised, and India got a consensus from other countries, that was the issues of terrorism and how to control the terrorism. So issue was terrorism. Will like it also.
बोलते रहिए तब तक मैं इसको ठीक कर.
So issue was terrorism. So we'll start next topic. That's a BRICS summit. What is BRICS summit? In fact, as far as I know, BRICS has become such a common word. In fact, everyone knows about it. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It's a group of these countries. But question can be asked, who gave this word? Who initiated the word? That was coined, the BRIC word was coined by the Goldman Sachs in year 2001. In the 2001. Before starting this, we should know what was the perspective of BRICS summit. What was the perspective? In fact, BRICS grew. So we'll start with the BRICS. Okay, we know B stands for Brazil, R stands for Russia, I stands for India, C stands for China, and S stands for South Africa. Okay, some factuals about BRICS. BRICS comprises 43% of world population, 30% of world GDP, 17% of world trade. Actually, the BRICS bloc was started to counter Western countries. The major objective was Asian countries was that for any development, for any loan, the Asian countries have to look towards the Western countries. And we know recently a new development bank has been started functioning. New development bank which has been started by the BRICS is an initiative of the BRICS countries. So new development bank is seen as a counter to the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. So NDB will finance the infrastructure projects and will correct the BOP of the Asian countries. So India, or you can say the Asian continent or Asian countries, was to become the bipolar of the world. Actually, till now, it was said US or Western countries was the only unipolar of the world. So the economic situation or economic gravity will tilt in the Asian countries also. So in this context, we'll know about BRICS. The BRICS summit was recently held in India, in Goa, right? So it was 8th BRICS summit, which was held in Goa, right? So it was held in Goa. What was the theme that is important, that can be asked? Theme, it adopted some agendas. What was those agendas? What were the things that was initiated? That was major things, various initiatives that was taken by the BRICS countries, that can be found at the Ingenious India Institute detailed GS material things. You can log in and you can see the things. But one thing I like to say about the BRICS is, last thing, the next summit would be happen in 2017 and China will host. And what to say, there's nothing or else we can say about the BRICS. It completes everything. And I would like to end this topic, international events, that is hadn't finished. That as far as we have observed, we analyzed that in the context of Indian service, what kind of question comes or what kind of question cannot come or can be summarized or can puzzle you, is I have cleared with in a brief manner. And for more detailed analysis, you can log into Ingenious Institute of India. For there you will find elaborate version of everything, every detailed topic, e-governance or environment, social issues, economic issues, international issues, awards, prizes. This was a brief analysis. This was a glimpse of the current affairs. For get success in the Indian services, I will suggest you please refer Ingenious Institute of India notes. That will quite helpful in exams, and in very short manner you can succeed in exams. And wish you best of luck. Thank you.